So what actually happens when you take a meticulously balanced sandbox game, one that's been carefully refined over more than a decade, and just inject it with absolute unlimited power?
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating duality in the gaming world. On one side, you've got the highly anticipated official Terraria 1.4.5 update, which is literally the pinnacle of the developer's vision. But then, on the exact opposite side, there's this booming parallel world of modded Android APKs. We're talking specifically about version 1.4.5.6.4. It's a super lightweight download where players are just bypassing the grind entirely and claiming these absolute godlike abilities for themselves.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll go inside the 1.4.5 update. Second, we'll look at the mod APK phenomenon. Third, we're exploring God mode and hacks. Fourth, we'll tackle managing mobile save files. And finally, we'll wrap up with choosing your ultimate Terraria experience. All right, Section 1. Inside the 1.4.5 update, the final content expansion. This is a truly massive milestone for the game. 70 million. Let that number sink in for a second. That is the staggering number of copies Terraria has sold since it first launched. As the game hits its 15th anniversary with this highly anticipated update, the community is honestly more active than ever. Relogic, the indie studio behind the whole shebang, has spent roughly 3 years carefully crafting this release. They want to satisfy millions of players who've already spent, countless hours digging through these procedurally generated worlds. What's really interesting here is the stark contrast between the previous update and this new one. Version 1.4.4, the Labor of Love update, was heavily focused on quality of life stuff. Think inventory sorting, balance tweaks, things like that. It actually had 0 new bosses. But 1.4.5? Wow, it is a massive endgame content drop. We're looking at a 57% increase in new content features, 18 new weapons that totally shatter previous power ceilings, and, absolutely crucial for late-game players, 3 brand new post-Moon Lord bosses. But here's the catch for veteran players. To access all this new content, specifically the new Abyssal Depths biome and those crazy post-Moon Lord bosses like the Void Leviathan, you can't just boot up your old save. Nope. These features actually require fresh world generation. So you're staring down a brand new, grueling 5 to 10 hour challenge that forces you to engage with the game's traditional, rewarding grind right from scratch. Moving on to Section 2, the mod APK phenomenon, bypassing the paywalls. Because while millions prep for that grind, a massive parallel community on Android is skipping it entirely. The central question driving the side of the community is pretty straightforward. Why grind when you can hack? Seriously, why spend hours upon hours digging for ore and getting wrecked by scaling bosses when you can just bypass the developer's meticulously crafted 1.4.5 progression entirely? This brilliantly illustrates the divide. On one hand, vanilla Terraria demands a paid upfront slow burn kind of progression. But on the other hand, sideloading a free mod APK instantly flips the script. We're talking about a mere 146 megabyte download that only needs 1 gigabyte of RAM and Android 6.0 to run. Boom. It unlocks all paid features, gives you unlimited inventory space, and even enables one-hit boss kills. It literally removes both the paywall and the progression wall with a single click. Let's look at Section 3, God Mode and Hacks, Breaking the Sandbox. What does this actually look like in practice? Well, when you install one of these modified clients, you aren't just tweaking the game, you are completely rewriting the laws of physics. God mode means you take 0 damage from any of the game's 450 different enemies. None. You can one-hit kill the massive new Void Leviathan boss with a single swing. You can instantly spawn the rarest items, fly or no-clip straight through solid bedrock, cast spells with infinite mana, and even automatically dig or build massive structures in seconds. It completely transforms Terraria from a brutal survival game into a god-tier sandbox. To really understand why players go this route, we have to listen to the community itself. Take GitHub user Moonlord Slayer, who says, "One-hit kill makes boss farming fun again. No more grind, just chaos." For some players, the traditional loop of endlessly farming bosses for rare loot drops has just lost its appeal. The modded approach lets them tackle the new 1.4.5 content entirely on their own terms. Or look at this perspective from user Chaos Builder, who notes, God mode plus infinite blocks equals instant megabase with no effort. Best hack setup ever. This really highlights how these hacks aren't just about skipping combat. They're often about pure creative freedom. When you completely remove resource restrictions and, well, gravity, players can throw together these incredible architectural marvels that would easily take hundreds of hours in the vanilla game. Section 4. Managing mobile save files. Because playing God on a mobile device definitely comes with some earthly complications.
The absolute biggest roadblock for mobile players right now is something called scoped storage. This is a security feature baked into Android 11 and up, and it heavily restricts your access to the standard Android/data save directories. If you want to manually move your hard-earned save file from version 1.4.4 over to a new 1.4.5 modded setup on a modern Android phone, yeah, this security protocol turns a simple copy-paste job into a massive technical headache, risking hundreds of hours of your progress in the process.
Let's see how folks are actually bypassing this. The community relies on some pretty technical workarounds. Step 1, they enable wireless debugging using a specific app called Shizuku. Second, they install a specialized file manager, like T-Manager, which has Shizuku support built right in. And finally, they use that app to securely import and export their save files directly into the restricted Terraria data directory. It's a whole technical song and dance just to keep your save game. And installing the modded game itself requires sideloading, which is its own four-step process. You have to download the APK from a trusted third party, locate it in your downloads, dive into your device's security settings to actively enable install unknown apps, and then verify the permissions before tapping install. You get unlimited power, sure, but the onus of keeping your device secure falls entirely on you. Finally, Section 5, the ultimate Terraria experience. It's all about choosing your path for the 1.4.5 update. Now, before we wrap, we have to mention this crucial caveat regarding the PC modding scene. The official modding tool, Tmodloader, is actually going to lag about 6 to 12 months behind the 1.4.5 base game update. That means PC players who rely on major mods have to make a tough choice: play vanilla 1.4.5 or stay behind on a modded 1.4.4 version. This massive delay makes the standalone, instantly updated mod APKs on mobile even more appealing for impatient players who just want the new content with zero restrictions right now. So, the crucial point is this: you have a distinct choice. The official route supports the developers at Relogic, ensures seamless cloud syncing and stable multiplayer, and gives you that highly rewarding, challenging grind the game is famous for. On the flip side, the sideload route skips the paywall completely and offers instant creative freedom with unlocked tools. But it absolutely comes with the risks of multiplayer desync issues and forces you to navigate those complex, unofficial file management systems. As we wrap up this explainer on the monumental 1.4.5 update, the big question isn't just about what's new in the game. It's really about how you are going to choose to play it. Will you spend hours in the abyssal depths grinding to earn your hard-fought victories against the Void Leviathan? Or will you sideload your way in, spawn as a god, and just rewrite the rules of the sandbox yourself?